Hi, I'm Bridgette Raitz, the owner of Whispering Stones and Solstice, and I'm here today with my friend Jen Huber. She is a spiritual intuitive and a connections coach, or as we like to say, because we're covetous, that you are our resident shaman here at Solstice. It's great to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So we've been talking about all the ups and downs in the holiday season, and sometimes it's crazy busy, and sometimes it evokes all these different memories, and sometimes the hustle and the bustle and the dazzle and the crazy can make you feel all different ways, right?
For sure.
So we were talking about maybe what are some ways to stay calm and centered and connected, and I thought you had some really good ideas. Do you want to share them with us?
Sure. The first thing, we thought we'd bring in some stones today that would help us heal and help us feel more connected to ourselves. And one of the best ways that we can feel connected to ourselves is first connecting to Mother Earth, which brings that energy up. Then we feel a little bit more centered. And then how we then connect to the divine, the universe, God, spirit, whatever that is for you. So we can live in this more balanced, aligned, harmonious state. Because oftentimes when, especially the holidays, maybe we're doing a lot of traveling, we're in and out of a lot of big energies. Perhaps, like you said, we're visiting and falling into places in our family where we kind of go back into the roles that we were when we were kids.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And there can be a lot of turmoil or even sometimes drama, or even just all the excitement and good stuff can be overwhelming too, right?
It's just a lot with our physical systems to calibrate all this additional energy, thought. The experiences alone of the season can be great. They can run the full gamut, but it's just a lot of additional input, right?
Right. And not to mention your schedules this time of year really get intense and
crazy
and pick up, especially if you have families and you're doing parties and programs and
prep all
right?
The prep work, right? So when we're thinking about that, I know one of the things you were talking about was helping us ground into Mother Nature. Why is it important to ground to Mother Nature?
Oh, Mother Earth holds so much wisdom and really gives us the support. I mean, we walk upon her every single day, and she supports us just unconditionally. Lots of times when we do journeys or meditations, we talk about when we clear our energies, the energy will pull through our feet. And I always hear that Mother Earth just so gracefully accepts that and then turns it back into healing energy. Supportive, grounding, it's just medicine, right? And it's really, really important to ground, because think of electricity or everything that you do in your everyday life. If you are using jumper cables for your car, you have to have that grounding wire. If you're doing electrical work in your home, and that's really there to complete the current and to keep everything feeling safe and secure to where you don't have any dangers, right?
Yeah. Well, you just are calmer, and you can actually probably handle the energy that does come at you, right?
Absolutely.
Because you're not alone, you're allied, and you're aligned with Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the grounding stones that you wanted to talk about or that you pulled, you want to tell us a little about what you use when you're thinking about getting grounded?
Sure. Petrified wood for me is really, really important. When you look at that, that is just holding so much ancient wisdom. When you connect to the earth's energy, think about how the earth just knows how to move through the cycles and the seasons. It just every year goes through this perfect evolution. It knows exactly how to heal itself. And we can pull up and benefit from a lot of that energy from the earth as well. I do want to say one of the biggest things that to know if you're ungrounded is that you might feel a little anxious, you might be a little headachy, and you might feel that kind of fluttering, kind of discombobulated energy, right?
Yep.
The first thing to do is ask yourself, am I grounded? And even if you're not super intuitive or you don't think that you're super intuitive, you really can close your eyes, take a deep breath and say, gosh, am I grounded? And you'll actually hear that yes or no.
Well, I think you feel it too, because when you're grounded, I think you feel just sturdier, for lack of a better word, right?
Solid.
Like you've just planted yourself, like, those storm chasers on the Weather Channel. They're always blowing around in the hurricanes, trying to hold on to something. You'll feel like that. I think when things get crazy, like you just maybe can't catch your breath. Maybe you just feel all fluttery. You feel like you just
Overwhelmed.
disconnected.
Yeah.
Or as we say, discombobulated.
Right.
You just don't feel connected. So I know you've got petrified wood on here. I love that because of the ancient wisdom. I threw some red jasper on there because red jasper is marvelous for base chakra. And what I really love about red jasper is it's like a metronome. Over time, you attune to its perfect rhythm. And its perfect rhythm is extraordinarily grounding and very, very good for healing things, for base chakra. We always say it helps people doing weight training keep their gains in the gym.
Oh, nice.
It's just a really powerful stone. Next to that, we've got some moss agate, which is, of course, like such a visual green and white representation of Mother Earth. And then I think you had some favorites at the end.
This one is my absolute favorite.
Dendritic agate. What do you love about it?
Well, to me, this is kind of my everyday go-to stone because it, in a lot of ways, it incorporates the whole table.
Sure.
But for me, it's just that feeling of feeling so connected from top to bottom. You know, it does carry the energy of the earth. I mean, all these stones do, obviously,
Sure.
right? But this, to me, just holds all this wisdom, all this strength, all this dreaminess as well. So it's a favorite go-to stone for me every day to just fall in that perfect alignment
with it. Well, I love it too because not only is it grounding and is it calming, because as an agate, agates are traditionally a stone that helps you go with the flow. So if the flow's fast, it goes that way. If the flow's slow, it helps you calm down. But the thing about dendritic agate is very manifesting. And I think as we're entering the end of the year, whether we're conscious of it or not, we're kind of doing an inventory. What do I need to do before year end? And did I get this done? And what am I going to do next year? And so I think it's a very now stone, right?
For sure.
And I see you've got some shungite and some tourmaline. Those are just great clears and grounders at the end.
Yep.
So those we've got for base chakra. But now I want to move on here and talk about, like, how do you connect with your inner child and with your creativity and your confidence and your heart center? Because I think that sometimes, let's say you're somebody that is grounded, but maybe you're missing out on a little joy and a little wonder and a little excitement of the season. It seems like we've maybe been ignoring our inner child.
Okay. So this is one of my favorite stones, and this connects me to my fire. This is all the creativity. This is that energy of inspiration, imagination. I feel like this really connects to that divine feminine energy of
it's very, I mean, by what it is, it's very creative.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the fountain source of a lot of ideas, and just growth. So you've got sardonyx there. I also see carnelian. It's my joke that this is like a lot of people's favorite stone because it's a sexy stone. So it's kind of bringing that passion and that zest for life out, right? What do you love about garnerite?
Well, I often do my meditation in the morning. I do several different kinds of meditations in my morning in my spiritual practice, but this one for me is I'll hold 2 of these palm stones in each hand. And like you always say, it's a warm hug, right?
Such a warm hug.
That when I go into a meditation, the visions that I see are always this very nurturing, warm, kind of like when I finish, I feel like, okay, the world's right again. I'm okay. It's so comforting.
It is. It's like a fuzzy blanket to me, but there's something really nurturing and considerate about it. I also see that we've got an Amazonite heart in there, and I love Amazonite for caregivers. A lot of times people come in the store and they'll say, hey, what have you got for, and then they'll list somebody in their life that is caring for a lot of others, whether it's an older parent, whether it's a younger child, whether it's a husband or a wife, but they're caring for them. And the one thing that happens with caregivers is they get tapped out and they forget to practice self-care, right? I love it too because it helps you set healthy boundaries with diplomacy, which if there was ever a catchphrase for the holidays.
Right. Should you just like maybe put this right in the mashed potatoes?
That's right. Put one on every person's chair. I want you to meditate with this before we eat. No, I mean, I love that stone for that. And then you got a favorite at the end, and it's my favorite too. So talk about it.
Oh, Labradorite. It's interesting too. I put on this bracelet this morning, and this was the very first bracelet I ever bought.
Yes, it was.
So this was the very first stone that called my name. We have it in the centered table, and to me, it's kind of the glue. It is such like a link in the chain of combining all of this together.
Right.
A lot like the dendritic agate.
It does, yeah.
But if I could say the dendritic agate is more like on this end of the
Yes.
link of the chain,
Mm-hmm.
and this would be on the other side, to where it just is these great building blocks. And that is really what these trays represent, is building blocks to a greater and deeper connection with ourselves and to spirit.
And to each
earth,
other.
And each other.
And each other. I love Labradorite because Labradorite to me is the stone that helps you keep a foot in both worlds. The seen world, which I think is probably closer to the grounding side,
Mm-hmm.
and the unseen world, which may be closer to maybe your higher self, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's also very magical. And, you know, the one thing that I think this season is known for is the magic of the season. You know, it's such a catchphrase, but you can really miss the magic of the season if you're not grounded, or if you're not taking enough time to sense what else is going on,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that you're seeing or you're not seeing, and the opportunities in it.
Yeah, and
right?
you know, and that just is translated in the stone because each one is so individual. You know, they all have this kind of shimmer to them.
The chatoyance,
The
or
chatoyance.
they call it the labradorescence.
The
Try spelling that one.
I can't even say it, let alone spell it.
Labradorescence,
But yeah,
yes.
but the chatoyance, I think,
it's
is the
beautiful.
But yeah, they're
the
so
flash.
the flash of that.
Mm-hmm. Is magical.
It's like lightning.
It is. Oh, your favorite.
Yep.
All right. So over here, so let's say we've gotten ourselves grounded,
Mm-hmm.
feeling protected, feeling centered with Mother Earth. We're over here, we're practicing some self-care, we're tapping into our inner fire, we're setting our healthy boundaries, we're starting to explore the magic that's out there. Now I've got this lovely platter over here. What's next? How do we connect to the higher purpose, the higher self that typically shines in this season?
Mm-hmm.
If you've got enough bandwidth just left to see it.
Right. And when you say that bandwidth, again, using these stones, the grounding and the centeredness is what is
going to
makes
allow
this possible,
this,
right? This
Mm-hmm.
is what elevates the whole experience. This is what puts the connection to, you know, the supernatural and
Right.
the unknown and the unseen and the miracles.
The miracles and the guides and the angels
Right.
and the ancestors and the ascended masters.
Mm-hmm.
It brings that
Opening of the crown.
It does. It just brings the joy, the light, and also passion in. I mean, it's kind of quite amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It can be dazzling. So on this platter, you picked some of my favorites.
So we've got fluorite here.
Why fluorite?
Well, you know, I noticed this trend that every time I would come home from a trip, wherever it would be, the next morning I'd grab my copy, sit down, and I always look at all my stones and say, who wants to help me today? What do I need?
Right.
That stone consistently was like the next morning after a big trip. And then you later said, well, that makes perfect sense. It like cleanses your aura.
It does.
It was like, you know, you get home from the airport, you get off the airplane, the first thing you do is you want to go take a shower, right?
Yeah, you want to drop all your bags, you know, maybe cull your laundry and stuff out of it, but you want to get yourself and your stuff clean and then settle into something that feels like you, right?
And that is what that does. It is like
it's
a shower for your energy.
It is. It's clarifying. It provides a lot of clarity. And it's also very detoxing because I think sometimes when we've been away or we go out to the family gathering, what's there that, you know, it's all the things we probably try not to eat. There can be all kinds of things that are out there tempting us, but there's something wonderful about coming back to detox to yourself. I see Trolleite. Well, I see Smoky over there, Smoky and Citrine.
Yes, but my personal favorite,
Trolleite. Why do you love it?
I love this stone. This is what I call my clarity stone. So I will do a shamanic journey with that, and I come out of that journey and I have such clarity. That stone speaks to me and will always tell a story that I can understand from this place of a deep knowing without question.
Wow.
It, you know, and that's for me. I mean, it never, every time I put it down after I go, I was like, you never let me down. I always get such clarity. And when you have that clarity, now we're like all connected because now we're in this clarity, we're in some peace, and we have wisdom.
Right.
And now all these energies can flow together.
Right. And I'm sure that helps when you're dealing with other people.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, sometimes we see someone we don't understand. why they said that or what they're doing or why they seem out of sorts or whatever. And I think sometimes if you don't have a degree in psychology and if you're, you're just kind of like all this, we kind of miss out that maybe for some people, the holidays isn't like the happy, joyful, can't wait for Santa to come sort of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe helps you see a broader reason behind people.
Yeah.
And maybe
it kind of
connect
says
better.
the why.
Yeah. Maybe
Like,
the why.
I will use that when I go, gosh, I'm feeling a lot of emotion. I have a lot of feelings and I can't put my finger on it. Why am I feeling this way? And then I'll meditate with that stone and it'll tell the story. And I can see it unfold and go, that makes perfect sense why I feel that way.
Yeah.
And when you have that clarity, then, like I said, that peace can come in. And now you can step forward in your day, in your life, on your journey from this very centered place of knowing that, sometimes, never really do we have all the answers. We're lucky if we have any answers some days. but when we bring in all of these elements, those three places of connection, we can really, really move through our day from a more healed place, from a more fulfilled place. And when we are showing ourselves that self-love, connected deep within, below, and above, that is how we actually, I always say, that's how we heal the world, is by healing ourselves first. Because when you're full and your light is shining, then it's your light that can shine and help and serve other people. Exactly. And that's really what we're here for, is to learn how to love ourselves and love each other.
I love that. That's perfect. That's perfect. So not everybody has access to stones, and not everybody feels the same maybe affinity that you and I do. Some other ideas, one thing that might help us during the holiday season to be grounded, to be aligned, to be open to the magic. One thing that came to me was cleaning your energy frequently.
For sure. There's lots of different ways that you can clean your energy. Intention is probably one of the most powerful things that we have that we don't realize.
Yeah.
You can clear your energy by just taking a few moments and having a deep breath and saying, I remove any energy. Please clear away any energies that don't serve my greatest good. And oftentimes I'll even do some sort of a physical thing, but it's taking the moment to set the intention of going, I'm not going to align with anything that's not for my greatest good.
And I think sometimes even just the question when you start to feel out of sorts or different, and it comes on really suddenly, is this mine?
Right.
Because, maybe you walk into the movie theater, or you're walking past in the shopping center getting some last minute presents, or you've gone to a restaurant and you come out and you just feel so different all of a sudden. Like you're frustrated or irritated or sad or anxious. I think one of the things that I've tried to work with my daughter on is to say, is it mine?
Right.
So if you figure out it's not yours, I think energy clearing is just a really good staple. Not just us, but maybe the spaces we're wandering in our, in our sacred space is a good one. What about like consulting an energy healer?
Absolutely. There's all sorts of gifted people that can help you and teach you learn how to clear your energy, help you learn how to ground, help you learn how to connect above. I mean,
all kinds of things.
All kinds of things, right?
To do.
Meditation is the number one thing. And a lot of people, we can say that word and they kind of get frustrated and say, I don't know how to meditate. I can't make my mind stop racing. Well, that's everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We will never completely silence our mind 100% of the time. It takes practice. So a few things that you can do to kind of do that is, it doesn't have to mean that you're sitting down on a pillow with your eyes closed doing that, right? Meditation can be breathing exercises. Meditation can be a walk in nature,
right?
Which is, quite honestly, if you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, that ungrounded, just can't put your finger on it, go outside.
Yeah, it helps every time.
Outside fixes everything.
Yep. I love that. I love that too. There's also a lot of guided meditations on YouTube, or anybody that you follow frequently probably has one of those up. So maybe somebody can keep you a little more on task instead of you just trying to sit on a pillow and get rid of all the thoughts. They can actually guide you somewhere. So all kinds of different things like that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we're going to have to come back and talk some more.
I think so.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys watching this today. If you liked it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get it off the ground at Whispering Stones. And on behalf of Jen and me, we wish you a very, very happy, joyful, calm, and serene holiday season. Have a great one.